Let's check out those Georgina numbers today. And like my other videos, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the most recent Toronto Real Estate Board stats we have, which are the June 2021. We're going to compare that with what happened a year ago in June 20. And then we're going to have a look at what happened in May 2020 as well to give you some contrast there. So in June 2020 in Georgina, 110 total homes sold across all home types. Now keep in mind, we were into that COVID market. I would say late May and into June is definitely where we started to see the market really heat up, when the market really came back. So that number definitely is reflected there. The May and June numbers, I broke out a little bit differently to show you a full scope of what's going on. So the N represents new listings that are coming on the market. The S represents sales throughout the month, which are actually represented by this initial number here. And the A is active listings. So active listings are what carries over into the next month. So that could be homes that didn't sell, could be cancellations, relists, that kind of thing. So if we look at May, new homes coming on the market, 199. Sales through the month was 127. Active listings were 143. If we go in June, new listings for the month are 141. So we're down 60 listings, right? Sales for the month are fairly consistent at 122. And you look at the active listings, and the active listings are actually at 111. So this is a reoccurring trend that we've seen across the market. If you've been following the media sources, they're indicating that the Toronto Real Estate Board stats are showing that the market is actually slowing. And that would be true in a sense from Toronto, but York Region is defying that. And we're seeing this across Newmarket, Aurora, East Gwillimbury. We're seeing these type of numbers where there's less listings coming on the market, but what's happening is the sales for the month are largely being made up of the active listings, the carryover listings. So what that is doing, and you'll see it in the numbers as I continue on, is it's keeping the market really, really super hot. So if we move on to average sale price, 718,000 a year ago in Georgina, that's across all home types. 871,000 in May 2021, currently trending at 849,000. The SNLR is also known as the absorption rate. It tells us that out of the homes coming on the market, what is the percentage of them that are actually selling? So a year ago, 73.3% of the homes that came on the market in Georgina sold. In May was 63.8%. Currently trending at 86.5%. So if you want to talk about percentages of what's a buyer's market, what's a seller's market, definitely when you're in the 80s, it is a strong seller's market. 50 to 60 is what we would call a balanced market, where supply would meet the demand. And then below 50 is more indicative of what you would see in a buyer's market. So again, just to sort of recap a bit, so we're looking at less listings coming on the market. The sales for the month about the same, and then the active listings falling, which is where you're getting this absorption rate. So you're getting more homes being eaten up, and you're being more competitive here, right? So if we look at months of inventory remaining, the MOI stat, it tells us that if no other homes came on the market after today at the current rate of buying, how long would it take to completely deplete the inventory? So a year ago, 1.4. We were trending at 1.1 months of inventory in May, and currently trending at 0.9. So again, we're seeing this active listing number fall. We're seeing the absorption rate climb, and the inventory levels dip. So that is very, very busy market for buyers and sellers right now. Sale price to list price ratio, homes selling at 97% of ask a year ago in Georgina. In May, it was 110%, currently trending at 106.4. Days on market to get a home sold a year ago, 28. It was 10 in May, and currently trending at 15. So this is something that I've seen in a couple of my videos. I'm doing 6 town specific market update videos a month. And it's interesting to me because you see all these other numbers, with the raise in the absorption rate, lower inventory coming on the market, the active listings are going down, the months of inventory is going down, and where you're seeing this number climb, because typically what you would see in a market like we saw through like March, April, May this year, is this number just kept getting lower. The days on market number kept going down, but where we're seeing this number climb is because the active listings, the carryover inventory, is what is getting eaten up by the buyers. So it's taking longer for buyers to go through that inventory. And because that inventory has been on the market a little bit longer, that's why we're seeing this number continue to climb. So So I mean, as far as this market, what's in it for buyers and sellers? I mean, for sellers right now, definitely still a really great time. I mean, your absorption rate is in the 80s, so very strong seller market. I don't believe it's a market that you can play with price. I would say you want to price appropriately to the market. That said, we are still seeing a number of homes that are being underpriced to the market. To cultivate those multiple offers. But that said, we are seeing more houses coming out now that are priced appropriately to the market. So we have seen that switch in about the last 45, 60 days. For buyers right now, certainly you're still going to face some competition out there. Depending on the house, I mean, the nicest houses always sell first. Now, I mean, the reality is that a home receives its most attention on its first 2 weeks of the market. So my advice to you buyers, if you're frustrated with the market and you haven't had success getting into a home, but you've been on a few, I would say have a look at this active inventory. Have a look at this older remaining inventory. I mean, if you comb through those, and I'm happy to send you that list, but if you're already working with a realtor of choice, if you comb through those, you'll see that some of those houses have been on the market for 30, 45, 60 days. They do exist. I mean, it's hard to believe in this market, but they actually are out there. So I might suggest having a look at some of that older inventory and see if there's a strategy you can come up with to get yourself into something with very little or no competition from other buyers. I hope you found this information helpful, and I will see you next month.